XJTAG 312 brings you more efficiency, convenience and focus when developing and debugging boundary scan setups. This latest software gives you automatic help with signal integrity problems if they arise. And when you're creating tests, you now have a convenient method for dealing with devices you don't want to interact with. This new release also helps you to work more efficiently with XJEase code by providing a set of powerful searches that scan through all the code files in your project. In addition, XJTAG 312 helps factory operators stay focused by giving you more flexibility to control the level of detail they can access. So let's look at these changes one by one. When you come to getting your setup running at full speed, signal integrity issues can cause last-minute delays. But with XJTAG 312, it's now easier and faster to find the source of such problems. The inbuilt signal integrity test has been helping detect issues like that for many years. But in this latest release, it will also automatically analyse any errors that occurred. We've used our extensive experience analysing such data on behalf of clients to create algorithms for this task. The software identifies specific characteristics in the errors and uses them to suggest the most likely cause. A JTAG device in your circuit could be connected to an IC that can't be disabled, something like a small microcontroller perhaps. To ensure connection test won't try to drive the interconnecting nets, you could create a test device file that contains a large number of disable values. But now there's an alternative. XJTAG 312 offers a more convenient solution. You now have an extra category you can use for devices. We've called it Excluded, and it's a category you can use for a device you can't disable but for which you don't want to create a test device file. Now let's focus on working with XJEase files. There are going to be times when you want to find where in all your code a particular variable, function, bus or configuration variable was defined. With XJTAG 312, right-clicking any of those items in the code or using the F12 key now offers the option to go to the place it was defined in whichever project file that was. For functions and variables, you'll be taken straight to the relevant line of code. And for buses and configuration variables, it will take you to the tab of the appropriate file with the item highlighted. You can also find all references to a particular variable or method in your project's files. Simply right-click the item and select this new option from the context menu, or use Ctrl F12. Results are grouped by file type and take into account the scope of the item, so it reliably finds the correct references in the code even when it's a common name that's used in multiple files. Again, click on a result and you'll be taken to the relevant file with the reference highlighted. And for when you just want to do a basic text search but want to look through all your project's code files, we've added a new option in the Find and Replace dialog. There's now a radio button to determine the extent of your search. Select All Project Files, and you'll get a new tab in the results when you search. In there, you'll see all the lines where the text was found across the project, grouped by file type. Again, clicking on a result opens the relevant file with the appropriate place highlighted. The hotkey Ctrl-Shift-F also takes you straight there with the project-wide option selected. Just click Find All to get your results. That all means your work developing tests just got easier. On the factory floor, people have different roles, so XJ Runner and XJ Investigator users have access levels that control what they can do. For example, a line operator might only be able to run the full test list, whereas a repair technician might be allowed to temporarily adjust which tests run. Engineers have always loved this feature and asked us to take it further, and that's what we've done in XJTAG 312. There's now more flexibility when you set user privileges. For instance, it's now possible to restrict which users see links to the layout and schematic viewers in the test results. That means someone with basic operator rights doesn't get distracted by being offered information they don't need. As another example, you probably want only repair technicians to have control over which tests get run, but maybe you'd like all users to have permission to edit the fault dictionary. XJTAG 3.12 brings you the flexibility to define those sorts of user privileges. And for ease of setting up multiple users, we've also given you a way to copy privileges between users. XJPAC files now come with more flexibility as well. When you export the file, you can now determine which settings end users are able to change. So, for example, if you want to ensure tests only ever get run in a specific order, you can configure the file so that even users with administrator privileges can't edit the test list. It's worth noting that those XJPAC settings won't get applied by test systems that use XJ integration, but you can now create an XJPAC file that's locked against use in those situations. So those are the changes to access levels. In summary, this new release helps you become more efficient at debugging signal integrity problems. The categorization process just got easier because XJTAG 3.12 introduced a way to put devices aside. And this latest software gives you a quick method for finding the variables and functions in your project files. On top of that, it also gives you the ability to help XJ Runner and XJ Investigator users stay focused by ensuring they only see items relevant to their role. If you've got a valid support contract, you can download XJTAG 3.12 from our website. Otherwise, contact us at inquiries@xjtag.com or find out more by visiting xjtag.com.